All right, let's get right into it. If you're an ESL teacher, you have definitely been here. You're trying to teach a tricky grammar point like the unreal present. You ask your students to share their wishes or regrets, and what do you get? Either total silence, or worse, that polite, generic answer, "I wish I had studied more." Ugh. But what if the fix wasn't in another textbook, but hidden inside a Bebe Rexha song? Today, we're going to break down an absolutely brilliant method for making this kind of complex grammar finally click.
Sounds familiar? Yeah, you've set up what you think is a great personal activity and the response is just completely flat. And listen, this isn't on you. You're hitting a wall that so many teachers run into, and it has nothing to do with how good a teacher you are. The problem is with the tasks themselves.
And this is the key takeaway right here. We're not talking about a personal failure, we're talking about a task design failure. The problem is literally baked right into so many of the traditional activities we're told to use. They're just not set up for genuine, authentic communication. They're actually set up for failure.
Okay, look at this contrast, because this is everything. On the left, that's your typical textbook task. There are no real stakes. It forces students to invent some kind of deep, personal feeling out of thin air, which is super awkward. And honestly, it's kind of boring. But on the right, that's where we want to be. A high-stakes situation driven by some real, authentic tension, something that makes our students actually want to figure out how to say what they mean.
So let's actually put a name on this thing, a task design failure. It's basically any activity that pushes students into these weird, context-free situations. You know, tell me your biggest regret, with no lead-up, no reason, no why. There's no real communicative pressure, and without that pressure, the language we want to hear just doesn't surface naturally. So what's the fix? Well, this is where it gets really fun. We're going to bring in a Bebe Rexha song, but not just to, fill in some blanks. We're going to use it as the engine for a high-stakes story that naturally pulls the exact grammar we need right out of our students. And that's the absolute secret sauce right there. We are not just doing a fun song activity. We are building a structured system, a narrative. We create a conflict, a story where the unreal present tense isn't just some abstract rule they have to memorize. No way. It becomes the exact tool they need to use to argue their point and win the conversation.
Okay, so what does this actually look like in a classroom? Let's walk through the 4-step method. This is how you take this cool idea and turn it into a powerhouse lesson that you can actually use. It's practical, it's repeatable, and trust me, it works.
Okay, here we go. Step 1, judge. You give your students an influencer's post filled with that toxic positivity we all know, and you let them debate it. This immediately creates tension and gets them invested. Step 2, listen. Now you play the song, and they listen for the clash between that fake, upbeat advice and the raw, emotional reality in the lyrics. This adds a whole new layer. Step 3, audit. This is the magic. You give them a bland, robotic transcript, and their job is to fix it by rewriting it with the song's powerful I wish language. They're now playing with and owning the grammar. And finally, step 4, synthesize. They take everything they've done and use it for a real-world task, like writing a social media clapback or a supportive message. You see that flow? It just builds and builds that authentic pressure.
But hang on, every teacher watching this is thinking the same thing right now. What happens if you set up this amazing debate and everyone just politely agrees with each other? How do you guarantee that a real debate happens? How do you stop the whole thing from falling flat with a simple, "Yeah, I agree"?
Well, the answer is this ingenious little mechanism called controlled autonomy. This is the secret ingredient, the invisible engine that makes the whole system fire on all cylinders. It's how you actually engineer a productive debate that forces students to use the specific grammar you want them to practice.
So here's how it works. It's so clever. You assign specific strategic roles. One student becomes the challenger. Their only job, is to frame every single argument using the target grammar. So they have to say things like, "Well, I wish she had been more honest." See? It forces them to use the unreal present to make their point. Then another student is the moderator, and their job is to make sure the group actually uses key vocabulary like toxic positivity. It's not a free-for-all, it's a game with rules, designed to generate exactly the language you need.
And the result? It's pretty amazing. The grammar you've been trying to teach just starts to emerge naturally. It comes out because students are so focused on winning the argument and playing their role that they use the language without overthinking it. And for you, this is huge. It means you can stop interrupting to correct grammar and start actually facilitating real, meaningful communication.
So why is this more than just a cool lesson plan? Well, for your teaching business, it's a game changer.
An approach like this frees you from that endless planning fatigue. It gives you a system to turn any song into a powerful lesson. It elevates you and your teaching brand because you're the teacher who gets real results. And that, of course, keeps your clients happy, engaged, and coming back for more.
And maybe the best part of all is that you don't have to invent this wheel yourself. The source material for this whole explainer comes with everything you need ready to go. A full 60-minute lesson plan, the Google Slides, worksheets for your students, even an assessment pack. It's all there, ready for you to try in your very next class. So let's just end on this one big idea. What if we started thinking about grammar differently? What if it's not about memorizing rules from a chart? What if, instead, grammar is the language we need to navigate our way through compelling, structured stories? Because when you create a high-stakes scenario, you don't just teach a grammar point, you create a genuine need for it. And that, right there, changes absolutely everything.